I found the perfect spot to do morning coffee. It's glorious. It's peaceful. It's joyous. One of the reasons I sat down, there's a tree right behind me that looks like my mom and dad's tree out back. To be frank, it made me homesick. Yes, it did. But I am going to be back soon. It is about my good friend Felisa. Hi, this is Paul Cummings.
I am Felisa.
And we met at the Aphasia Clinic in St. Pete, having a good time.
Yeah.
Yes. And working
hard.
Such a pleasant, positive person.
Hey, part 1. In 2015, I was working for the military in Afghanistan, teaching during the day and working on my dissertation at night. I had a massive stroke. I remember suddenly feeling weird. I sat on a bench and tried to get hold of myself. I was alone and fell down. I don't know how long I was out before someone found me. I was 31 and in excellent health.
She went home about 2.5 weeks to prepare. She practiced and she practiced and she practiced again and again and again. Worked so hard. 3.5 years later, after suffering a horrendous stroke, guess what? She passed her doctoral degree. You have more courage than anybody I have ever met. Congratulations.
Some time ago, I started taking pictures of windows. The thing I find compelling about windows is not the frame itself, but what you can see through the frame, beyond the enclosure. So this is the first of 3 juxtapositions The first picture on the left was taken in Kabul at the old Queen's Palace, and the other picture was taken in Tucson, just west of town, off of the 36th Street trailhead. I think it's interesting to notice that not only are the frames strikingly similar, but what you can see through the frames. So the question I'd like to pose tonight is, can we see beyond the frame? And specifically, can we see beyond the frame on the subject of Afghanistan? I spent the last couple of years in Afghanistan serving in the United States Air Force, and before that, a few years before, I worked there as a civilian volunteer. So it's been my joy to see a very different side of the story that most of us hear and see about Afghanistan. When people think Afghanistan, what do they think? Maybe graveyard of empires, maybe a fumbled counterterrorism or nation-building campaign. Maybe they see a place that's so full of corruption and endless conflict that it couldn't possibly heal. I've seen a very different side to the story, and that is through my relationships with people like you see in these pictures, with women, with activists, educators, kids, artists, soccer players. And the story they tell is very different, because if they could only see the frame, what future would that leave them? And what future would that leave their kids? So I'd like to talk tonight about a vision for the future and a vision for healing that could be shared and that could be connected between citizens in Afghanistan and citizens here in Tucson and in the United States. What if we stopped waiting for our political leaders to feed us a vision? What if we stopped relying on unimaginative editorials to inform us? What would it look like if we could craft and share a vision for healing and for the future between citizens on both sides of the ocean? And I'll tell you what, the kinds of people that you see in these pictures are risking their own lives every day for a future free of the kind of extremism that has wounded both of our nations. And it's through my admiration for them and the inspiration that they've given me, listening to them, that brings me here, and that I can also begin to see beyond the frame. So I believe what we need is something bold and different, something lovely from amid the sharp barbs of pain and conflict.